right, I'm gonna, on 3, 2, 1, and then I will introduce and we'll start with Nate.
Yay!
I'm kidding, I'm not on yet. Just regular like we always do.
Okay.
Pretend I'm not even here.
So as just a general to let you guys know, what we usually do is we have walked through and kind of meandered around as you've seen us doing for the past like half hour. We're just going to give you our impressions of what we picked up on. So we haven't really talked about what we've found, so it may differ, and we have tried our best not to be privy to any of the information. That was like when we were doing interviews yesterday, we both went upstairs because we didn't want to hear anything about that. So some things may click, some things may not click.
We're human.
Yes. I don't expect anything.
Sometimes things get lost in interpretation.
Yeah, and if it doesn't really resonate with you, that's totally fine. We're not going to be 100% of the time. This isn't like hard evidence. This is just our impression of what we kind of felt as we're going through. So I usually pick up on things that I'm hearing. I can see things in my mind's eye when I'm walking through and doing like just checking in with the place. Do you have a place where you'd like me to start, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Why don't we start where we started?
So we started up in the attic. So I'll start at the third floor, at the very top floor. I don't know if I got this thing where it's like if people go up there, it's very uncomfortable feeling for some people, especially if you're alone. I instantly, when I started walking up the stairs to the office area on the third floor, I got an image of a hangman. I don't know if you guys have ever had, if there's any history of that. I mean, I know this place has a long history. So, got an image of a hanged man, just kind of a silhouette of somebody kind of swaying. And also up there, there's a spirit of a man who is kind of in just like period clothing, but not like Prohibition era, almost Western clothing, like having like a duster and a hat, and a mustache, a white gentleman about 5'11", medium build, who stands up there. Also, in the room that is most on this way, it's like right when you walk up the stairs is the room directly in front of you. Picked up just a woman in distress, a woman screaming as if somebody was assaulted out there at one point in time. I don't know if there's any stories about that. But generally, what I think what people experience when they walk up there is they feel very uncomfortable, like they're being watched, and as if they should really be there. It's just kind of like, I'm gonna do what I can, and get out of there. So I don't know if there's anything traumatic that happened up there, but the hangman image was a huge thing that was in my head when I walked up, especially to the office space on the third floor. Down here on the first floor, I'm not picking up on much of anything because this is where the most activity happens. And so it's like yesterday when I was here having dinner and I was just kind of just honing in on the place, and it is just almost like two parallel worlds operating at the same time. You have the shadows of the patrons that were here in the past, and just kind of like that, almost like a recording that's playing over and over again, kind of a feeling. So I haven't picked up on any strong presences here on this floor yet. So down in the speakeasy, I don't know if anybody has ever felt kind of really nervous or out of place, especially towards the wine cellar area. Downstairs, I sat down in the green chair that was down there. And the funny thing is, this is the first place I've ever been where I'm just kind of listening and it sounds like I'm in a restaurant that's bustling and it's just constant noise. But I couldn't really pick up on any specific voice, but I was able to pick up on the presence of a gentleman downstairs by the wine cellar. He was in like Prohibition era garb, had like a hat and vest on and a white shirt and slacks. And he kind of led me toward the back, towards that back room. Like if you followed the wine cellar back to where they would pass the alcohol through. And this sounds funny, but he was just kind of just sitting there, like just grinning at me. Just kind of like in a really goofy stance. And I have no idea what that's about. But I think that somehow people get a really uncomfortable feeling down, especially near the wine cellar. I also got an impression of Underground Railroad, and there was an African-American woman down there, almost in like a white shift, like had like a old-timey PJs, like a robe down there, and she led me back to where the tunnel is that we have, that's been like bricked off and everything like that. But yesterday when I was there, I believe you asked me, how did you feel anything? And I was like, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. So, but it had a different energy today, so it may vary. That's kind of the chaotic kind of environment that's down there. Sometimes it's a welcoming thing, sometimes it's a quiet place that doesn't want to be disturbed. So that's kind of what I picked up on in my preliminary just kind of walkthrough. So I don't know if any of that resonates with you guys at all.
Well,
Okay.
and before you answer that, we'll hear
Yeah.
from Charlie
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Is there anything else, Nate? Okay. From Charlie, what did you pick up on?
So let me start with some of this other stuff that I got. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so, all right, so how I work is, I guess I work a little bit differently. I don't see spirit, I see in my mind's eye as well. I don't always see like physical bodies of spirits like that. I will get images, I'll get flashes, or I'll get emotions, or I'll get a story of something. One of the things that I was picking up about this place is, like before I even got here, I saw all the different flooring, all the different, like, there's just so much that's different, like constantly built on. I could see all that before I got here. And I know, I don't know if there's ever been a flood anywhere, but I still see water coming through the walls. I still see water coming through those, and I feel like it was in the basement somewhere. And then separate from that, I also feel like there is an area, or was an area, that there was a fire in. And I don't know, I'm not like saying the whole house burnt down or something like that, but I feel like little things that's causing repairs or something like that. But I feel like something did have to be like fixed, rebuilt, or I'm not really sure, but I do see the fire, and I feel like the fire and the water are completely separate places. I also see a man sitting at a bar, and I'm not sure which bar it is. I don't know if it's this one or the one downstairs, but he is an older man, and I'm not sure how exactly he's related to this place. So I don't know if he's a previous owner, and he passed away, and he just spent time at the bar all the time, and that's what he did. He had this one seat that he sat in, or if it's a patron that was here all the time, and he had this one seat that he sat in, and either he died someplace else, but this is like where he was all the time, or if he died here and someone found him, I'm not sure, but he's showing me that he sits at this bar, and I believe he drinks liquor, because I see a glass. And I felt like he could get like really shippy drunk, because I see him like this, but like he doesn't want to get up out of the seat, right? So he's still sitting in his seat. I just don't know if it's upstairs or downstairs, but I can see it. Also, the middle floor where the bathroom is, it's just a very being watched feeling, and they don't mind letting you know that you're being watched. They come up very, very close and in your face, and it just feels very unnerving, which is a little rude because you're in the bathroom, right? But I really didn't really feel it in the bathroom, I'll be honest, but I felt it like in that middle walkway. I just feel like there's a lot of energy that comes up those stairs. I will say, is it Adam's room? Is that the one with the black, or the brown, with the curtains, right? Like if you're standing outside the bathrooms, you can look at it. That's the room that I really felt I wasn't supposed to be in that room. Like I'm not allowed to be in it. Like I went in and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Up at the top, so like going up to the third floor. Well, no, when we go back, you know the really long room? The really, really long room. I feel like there's a lot of activity. I can't tell you what the activity is, but I feel like it's high activity. And I want to say, you guys have mirrors in there. You have 3 mirrors in there. And the way that you guys put those mirrors, you amped it up. So you encourage it. So I don't know if people talk about that being a high activity room, but I feel like that's one of the, like, you could be doing things like that. It just gets so many layers here, and you guys almost create an environment for them with all the old furnishings and stuff like that that they don't want to leave. They don't leave. You make it look in a way that they belong here, so they're comfortable in a way of, this is where I belong. It doesn't look different enough to make it like, it's time for me to go, it's time for me to move on. And I think they sort of like the attention. Some do and some don't, and there's just so many different layers. I didn't do like he did, like da 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 da, like look at this and like this and like this. I kind of like did the big story of things. Moving up to the very, very top, the room before you go up to the, is it the office? There's a room right there before you go up. I had a hard time breathing in that room. Yeah, I just had a hard time breathing. I didn't give it much. But I will say that one of the things that makes the energy the way that it is there's just a lot of stuff in there, and it tends to collect energy. So it'll hold the energy and collect energy, and it makes it difficult for things for energy to move. And so it just kind of holds things in place a little bit easier. So going up to the top, something moves back and forth really, really fast. Like, I can see it moving back and forth really, really fast. Like, and I hear things being moved around in that room and nothing's moving. But I hear things like somebody else. But you don't see anything moving. But you know you hear it. And I feel like you see things out the corner of your eye up there all the time. I just feel like, it just feels like there's something in the room and they let you know that it's there with you. They're not shy about it. To me, it would be very hard to work in that room. I would be ADD as hell up there. I would have trouble completing a task. And sometimes I pick up on things, like even though I'm up there, and I may get things when I'm sitting here and I can tap into the energy, I'll get a little bit more information. But I feel like whoever sits up there is constantly looking up and looking around them, and you can't go very long without hearing something or feeling something or sensing something, and like it interrupts you. Do you guys have like technological stuff go on here all the time? Like little techie stuff, like just because I feel like that goes on. And who there's an energy here that very flirtatious with the girls. Like, I don't know if that girl's ever been smacked on her ass or something like that, but well, I walked through or whatever, and I felt like somebody was ready to like. But it was in the speakeasy.
Oh, really?
It was in the speakeasy. Yeah. Now, when I was downstairs, like in the speakeasy area, first off, the stairs are already hard to walk down, but it really feels like my legs want to buckle down those stairs. Okay. If you go, how do I say this? So you go downstairs and take a left, and go all the way to the left, but behind that wall that's to the back. I don't know how to explain it.
That's the deer?
No. So like, if you come downstairs here and go this way, and there's like the couches right here, but you can go behind that and walk over, and there's a wall over there. Like, I definitely felt something over there. Like, as soon as I hit that, I was like, whoa, there's something here. Like, felt like I walked through it. Like literally, like I crossed a line, and the energy was different, completely different. And then walking around, when we went behind the bar and into like your wine cellar all the way back in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Definitely feel presence back there. And then once you're in the wine cellar, like, it just feels like nobody wants to spend that much time back there. Like, it's hard to spend time back there. Get in and get out, get in and get out. Now, I did see a shadow in there. We saw it move across really fast. So I'm not the only one that saw it. I said something, even though I saw it too, and then we just started describing it, and we saw the same thing move across. And then coming back, and again, I do feel the presence of a man down there, like really, really strong. I'm almost wondering if he's not the one that like, wanted to like smack my ass or whatever. But I did get in the, do you guys have like a closet there's not really anything in, right? It's like right next to the bar. There's like nothing in there. It's like a weird shaped triangle room. So I opened that door and I know there's something standing there. There is something standing there. It does not want me in there. It's putting this wall, this presence up. You cannot come in here. Like, I'm in here. And it was very strong. Like, I mean, I didn't feel threatened to the point where like I felt physical harm because I totally walked in. But it was like, mind your space, mind your business. This is my space. Like, I'm in here because you're out there. And that's what I was getting. What else? The only other thing that I got was, I keep seeing this field, and I don't know where it's at, but it's separate from the property. And I still see the lake. I know you guys, I told you guys that I still see the lake and I see the field. And I don't know why they're showing me the field. Like it's like a wheat field or whatever, but it's an open space. And I'm not sure what it has to do. If there's something on that field, or if there's something that happened near here that's related to this. I don't know, but it just keeps showing me the field, and looks like a farm field almost.
There's a field right back here with a lake, right behind the cemetery.
Okay.
It's on Richmond's old property,
Oh.
yes.
Okay. So like the field and then the lake. Okay. They keep showing me that.
Yep.
So is that someone that would be here?
We met her son last time.
Oh.
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. That's where Amy grew up. And they lived there for.
So is there an older gentleman from that property that's passed away?
Her dad.
Okay, so then he comes here. Okay, so that's the correlation. He comes here then, for sure.
I mentioned him.
Yeah.
Who's Steve? S-T? I don't do that, I hate doing that, but S-T? Okay. Stewart? Steve, S-T, S-T-E, S-T-U. Okay, don't worry about it.
What's Nick's last name?
Who?
Nick.
Stavards.
What is it?
Stavards.
Steve, eh?
Steve, okay, yeah, that's gotta be that, yeah. Oh, wait, who is that?
They own, there's a lumber company, used to be right here, right before you get on the highway, and the building was Stavards Lumber.
How are they related to this?
Longtime family here.
So,
They've
do
been
they
here
know
forever.
him? Does that family know that person?
Everybody knows everything.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so they're probably, okay, so they're just doing little things to validate that they're here and that this is who I'm talking about, because I wouldn't know that person's name. There's no way I would have gotten Stavard, but Steve, that's probably it.
Can you tell, when you were talking about the gentleman that sits at the bar and drinks liquor
Uh-huh.
and gets real drunk, can you tell if they've been gone for a long time or a short time?
So I'm getting like lung issues, COPD kind of stuff. Was he a smoker? Did he try to quit smoking? Was he a smoker?
I don't know much. I don't know. He was blind.
Is that why he shows me with the eyes closed all the time? Like he doesn't want to open his eyes?
Could be, he was blind.
Okay.